Hi, and welcome to Retirement with Jim. So today I'm going to talk about should you pay your mortgage off? Could you pay your mortgage off? So with that, you'll see that I'm not in my golf cart. It is way too cold out today. So I am doing this inside where it's a little bit warmer. It's only 40, it was 39 degrees out a little bit ago. So time for me to go inside where it's warm. Even here in the Southwest desert, it occasionally gets cold. So, paying your mortgage off. Should you do it? Could you do it? Now, should you do it? I'm going to absolutely say yes. You know, if you start soon enough and plan for it, it really will benefit you when you retire immensely. So, let's look. For example, if you applied $100 a month extra to your mortgage, you're going to reduce your mortgage by 4.5 years. Now, if you can afford to do $200 a month, it cuts your mortgage by 8 years. And if you can somehow squeeze in $500 a month, you reduce your mortgage by 11 years. That's a huge amount of time. Now, you really want to say, okay, you want to plan for this. You want to be able to, look at what you have, money-wise that's available. And, if you're not quite there, you kind of go, okay, well, what do I need to do to maybe free up some of that money? Look at your budget. Where are you spending money that you might be spending needlessly that you could redirect to paying, down the mortgage? Now, one of the things you have to remember is if you are going to do this, you have to tell your mortgage company that you want the extra money applied to your principal. Because if you don't, they will apply it to the interest, which doesn't really benefit you. So, once you tell them that, they're obligated to apply the money to the principal. So, that's 11 years off your mortgage. That's if you can somehow squeeze in 500, that's a huge, savings and the amount of time, 11 years. So as you prepare, especially early enough, a lot of us, as we do, pay our mortgage, we don't think about necessarily paying it off. It might be a fleeting thought, but we don't necessarily make the effort and the time to kind of go, I should really do this. Excuse me. And because once you retire, have a paid off home is a huge plus. You are looking at 19.5% of your budget would be going to paying your mortgage, thereabouts, if you take the average. So to not have that expense, that's that money that's available for you to live on and enjoy your retirement. So whether it's traveling, whatever it may be, going out, hobbies, it's just nice to not to have to spend that money if you don't have to. Now, more people are going into retirement with a mortgage, and because that's just part of the new retirement. It's just the way it is. But if you can pay it off with a little bit of thought, a little bit of, I should say, a little bit of forethought and planning, you can make retirement so much more enjoyable. Another way to approach that is, as you get closer to retirement, what do you have in terms of your house, in terms of the size of the house? For instance, my wife and I had a pretty big size home. We didn't need it. It was just the two of us. Kids are gone. It's just, we didn't need all of that space. And so we sold that home and we got a much smaller home. Now, we had a home that was, almost about 2,800, almost 2,900 square feet. And we now live in a smaller home that's only about 1,000 square feet. And it's wonderful. One of the greatest savings is utilities. You know, that I had to heat that big house, I had to cool that big house. The utilities at times were absolutely outrageous, and you can't get a break on your utilities no matter what. You're at the mercy of, the power companies. So by downsizing, we have a home that is a lot easier to take care of, a lot less space and to clean and everything else. And most importantly, our utility bills were reduced. Oh my God, tremendously. We probably cut 2/3 of that bill out, like for electric, for instance. There were times in the summer cooling the house and had a pool and I was facing $600 electric bills. It was just crazy. I have an electric bill now that is $80 to $90. That's wonderful. Anything under 100, and in the summer it gets up, closer to 200, thereabouts. But it's it never gets above that, and so the cost savings are tremendous there. And so once you retire, you don't want to have to be spending that money out in utility bills. So another good way to look at that is, do you have a big house that you really don't need and you can downsize and then purchase a smaller home, and the extra money you may have, in terms of that in equity, that's available for you to go into your bank account and use it in retirement. So it's certainly, another option, and one that you seriously should look at. But take a look at, can you free up in your budget enough money to start reducing your years of paying that house off? And like I said, a lot of people don't give it a lot of thought. They're just going to pay it, and it'll eventually pay off. But if you pay it off sooner, that's that much more money you have available to you, whether it's to put it in your 401k, an IRA. You can reinvest that money into investments that will pay in the long run in your retirement. So it's really something to think about, that you really can set yourself up for greater success if you do a little bit of planning and think about how you can make that happen. And again, you got to remind your mortgage company, if you are going to do it, to the principal, not the interest. Because if you don't do that, you'll end up kind of losing out. So it's a great way to help make your retirement a much more enjoyable thing, and it's not that hard to do. There's a lot of ways. We don't look at our budgets, so look at that budget. Where can you save some money and then reapply it, especially while you're younger and you're trying to save, and you're trying to pay your mortgage. Then believe me, you'll be so much happier once you've done it, because paying that off and going into retirement with no mortgage, that is a wonderful thing. So with that, if you like my content, please hit the like and subscribe button, and let me know in the comments. Do you want to pay the mortgage off early? Can you pay the mortgage off early? What's your thoughts on that? Let me know. So with that, I'm going to tell you, have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.